Nice launch trajectory and countdown net. Pad is clear.
10, 9, 8.
Launch auto sequence
7,
has started.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go for launch.
Vehicle is supersonic.
Stage separation confirmed. Dragon, separation confirmed. Stage 1 is transonic. Landing legs have deployed. And Falcon 9 has landed.
Yeah, Daryl, I can confirm, listening to the
Heavy
teams, that everybody is go for launch. They have resolved the temperature issue they were looking at on second stage. Everybody's given the go for that, and Falcon is in startup, so the flight computer has taken over, and we're getting ready for the
SpaceX launch director is go for launch.
And there we hear Charlie Meyer say that SpaceX is ready for launch, and Europa Clipper getting ready to lift off.
And there's a great update as now it vents out the locks inside the line of the transporter erector. We are inside of 30 seconds.
30 seconds and counting. Minus 15 seconds and counting.
And here we go. 10,
10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff. Liftoff of Falcon Heavy with Europa Clipper, unveiling the mysteries of an enormous ocean lurking beneath the icy crust of Jupiter's moon, Europa.
Engine chamber pressures are nominal.
See that the chamber pressures are nominal as we hear. All 27 Merlin engines look great.
Rocket beginning to roll. Putting down 5.1 million pounds of thrust. Coming up, they're going to back off those engines just a bit.
So we get ready to head into max
Power
Q.
and telemetry nominal.
We hear that power and telemetry on the vehicle are good there. Everything's looking really
Falcon
well.
Heavy is supersonic.
They have reduced power in the center core to get through max Q, maximum dynamic pressure on the launch vehicle. As we approach that, the two side boosters at full throttle.
A beautiful shot there is our camera team.
Max Q.
Locking into the rocket on a clear blue sky. The view from the booster cam, back down on Earth.
And there we heard the call for max Q. The vehicle is passing through maximum dynamic pressure. Next thing up in about 2 minutes will be booster engine cutoff, where we see the two side booster engines, all 18, shut down and get ready for booster separation. But the vehicle is performing very well. Looking at all the telemetry that we have, power and trajectory are nominal.
We've been flying for just under 2 minutes so far. Everything looking good. B-side boosters, once they do their job, they will be expended. If you're familiar with the Falcon Heavy, you know that they bring the boosters back on certain launches, but not on this one, because all of the performance is needed to push Europa Clipper into its proper orbit.
Things continue to look good as the vehicle heads down its ascent phase here. All telemetry is looking very nominal for this flight this morning. Falcon Heavy is performing very well.
Now we're just about 30 seconds away from separating those side boosters. Their engines will cut off first, then they will separate.
MVAC is chilling.
All telemetry is looking very
Starting to chill down that MVAC-D engine in the second stage.
And that's where we need to get the engine chilled to the proper temperatures before flowing liquid oxygen and RP1 into it. So they're conditioning the engine to make sure things are ready for when it's ready to start up.
Stand by for booster separation.
Booster engine cutoff. Side booster separation confirmed.
And there they go.
And that's where we need to get the engine chilled to the proper temperatures before flowing. Those two boosters previously flown on Psyche. This will be their 6th flight. We thank you for their service this morning. They did a great job of getting Falcon Heavy and Europa Clipper on its way as the center core takes over and continues mission down its ascent. Things are looking really good in the telemetry. Power and trajectory look nominal, and chamber pressures on the 9 center core engines look really good.
In just a little more, 20 seconds from now, we'll get the cutoff of the main engine on the center core booster that remains. 4 seconds after that, we will separate. Flying out over the Atlantic Ocean, there's a look from inside.
There we see stage 1
Stage
shutdown
separation confirmed.
and stage separation from the center core. Getting ready for MVAC startup, SES-1.
We're getting some applause here in the Mission Directors Center, and there you see the MVAC-D engine lighting up.
Next thing up in about 10 seconds will be fairing separation.
NYPY FTS has saved.
And the fairing has protected Europa Clipper on its ascent up into space, but once we get into space, we don't need that fairing anymore.
Fairing
there they go.
separation confirmed.
Fairing has separated, and those will be recovered, Daryl, by SpaceX's own recovery ship, Go Cosmos.
And there you see them falling away into space. That is the only part of this rocket that will be recovered.
The glow of the MVAC-D engine as it performs its first burn here. This is about a 3-minute and 47-second burn. Things are looking great. Matter of fact, this is one of the shortest first burns that has been done on a Falcon Heavy by SpaceX, but it is required to get us into that parking orbit for that long coast that we have to get ready for the interplanetary trajectory that we're going to need to get Europa Clipper on its way that we heard Jenny talk about to get those Earth assist slingshots as it heads on its way for its mission. So things looking really good this morning with the performance of the Falcon Heavy. MVAC is performing well, and everything looks good thus far in today's mission.
Usually those burns are the other way around, with a longer first burn and the shorter second burn, but in this case it is reversed. As we look at some crystal clear views of the MVAC-D engine, the stage 2 that's carrying Europa Clipper. Orbital light is shining both on the spacecraft, the second stage, and on planet Earth.
Center core
It is
FTS
beautiful.
has saved.
There we've heard that the flight termination system on the center core has been saved as it heads back to splash down. Things are looking good. I can tell you, Darryl, we had a beautiful weather day for launch, and as we're looking at MVAC flying in space with Europa Clipper, it is such a gorgeous view with Earth behind it, and so we could not have had a better day for a mission launch today.
No doubt about it, Mick. It was simply gorgeous. We had a hurricane a week ago, but after that pushed out, it brought us in its wake near perfect weather for launch. And now we're into space, dealing with the harsh conditions up there.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Stage 2 has made its way into space far enough away for us to be able to safe the flight termination system from a safety perspective. We're about a minute away from second stage engine cutoff as we'll see the MVAC-D shut down and get ready for a long coast, getting Europa Clipper into that parking orbit and on its way for the next firing that we will have, the second stage, number 2, to get it into that interplanetary transfer orbit that we need to get Europa Clipper started. So things looking very well this morning. We're about 30 seconds from that stage engine cutoff, which we refer to as SECO 1.
That's right.
We'll get terminal guidance.
Get into that coast phase. These views brought to you, of course, by ground stations across the track that are pulling in the high-resolution data from the cameras. Burn looking good, just a few seconds away from cutting off from that first burn. And there it goes. The first burn is complete.
things look really well on the stage burn result. Apogee, perigee, and everything for the mission looks really good. Engine performance, very well performance by the second stage for this first burn. And things continue to look good as we head into this long coast for this parking orbit.
It's a long coast, and we'll hit that second burn, roughly 3 minutes and 21 seconds long. This one was roughly 3 minutes and 9 seconds. And Mick, you saw the data from it, and it all looked pretty good. Then there you go, the confirmation.
We're hearing confirmation that we have nominal orbital insertion. As we were looking at the telemetry here, Daryl, that things looked very good. Stage 1 and Stage 2 performed very well on that ascent flight. And we'll continue to follow Stage 2 to get ready for that second burn. And then, of course, what we're really looking forward to, Europa Clipper separation.
It's going to be a beautiful moment. If the pictures are as clear as we've seen so far, we will see it in all of its glorious detail. All right. We will continue monitoring the coast phase of the second stage with Europa Clipper. And we will bring that to you. Of course, any updates that we have, we'll check back in with you in a little bit. But for now, let's send it back to the host desk with Megan and Jenny.